just kind of sitting here with my thoughts, and I realized, like, I have so much that I want to give the world. Like, I want to have my own platform, website, like database where it's created in a way so it sticks, like it's like a world, like a globe that you click on and you with your mouse, like you can scroll and look at like the other worlds, like Antarctica and like the worlds behind the ice veil, or you can look and see different places that are really heart-centered, or like where the crown chakra of the earth is, where the roots are, like the symbolic, the energetics of like the physical world, like how the US is compared to other places, like the fact that junk food, which really lowers our vibration, is so common here. That should not be what we're eating. It's literally so detrimental. And wow, like the fact that we don't have a third place, we have schoolwork, and then like we need that social place, and it's becoming social media. That's really, and the fact, I was thinking, like the way TikTok, you're always scrolling, you're never really thinking. And from experience, I know you really get lost in it. We get lost in the scrolling, and like the way that I feel like the powers that be are having it be that way is so that we're not really thinking. And the more we're not thinking, the more we turn into just robots, just taking in all of this information, whatever everyone else says. That's the truth. Not thinking for ourselves. Not questioning the paradigms here. Not questioning, why are we doing this? Why are we in 9-to-5 jobs? So much electricity going around in our houses. All of this locked into computer screens. Working in this society is not all this like based on like if you're beautiful or not, or like how to make so much money and get rich. The reason you want money is so that you can be happy. But if you find ways to be happy without getting to be a millionaire, like you've already won. Like we need to realign our priorities here. But back to the main topic, like the way our society is in the US, I feel like it's different than places that are more like community focused. Like we need more community here. Like the loneliness, like the isolation that young people and any age that people are experiencing, at least we're in the society that I live in, it's astounding. It's not how it should be. The fact that we live in houses 5 for a few, like not that many people in a house, but like 3 to 10 people in a house, even one person in a house. That's not right. We need community, of course. We need privacy. But something that came to me is that like because I'm in my house and it's dark, so it's like late at night, and I'm like, this is literally like if we're mice and we have our own little corner and no controllers are gonna watch us at all. We can literally do anything in our house. That if we're quiet, like that's how so many bad things happen when behind closed doors. Like all of your repressed and darkest things you can do them here with your spouses, like with your children. You can treat them however you want, because we don't have that community, that beneficial network between people to like support each other. Like we're all in this alone. That's what's being taught to us, living in apartments, living in all these places, doing things by ourselves. Even in school, when it's like when we're taking tests and things, it's very much so don't help people. This is you against your classmate. I've heard teachers say this is you want to do good because you and your classmate, you're not friends, you're competitive. senators. Only one of you might get into university. Stuff like that, that's so wrong. That's so not right. We are here to help people as human beings. Let go of these programmings and listen to these. Listen. Like, think about it. Think for yourself. Sit in your house and think without a phone. Just think about it. Like, we are meant to help each other. Like, as a community, use all of our gifts together, not be pitted against each other from such a young age. And the fact that in school systems, we're in school systems from the age of very, very young, since so young, since we are like little children, still trying to understand the world, even when we're 13, when we're 10, when we're 12, and we get introduced to the internet and social media and TikTok. That is just, we're still growing. We are still like growing, and the way TikTok, it's scrolling, our attention spans, whatever. I know there's so many studies on this, but more than just that, I feel like it's just not, this is really having detrimental effects on us. And doing it at such a young age where we're still growing and our brains are still developing, like the way that we're getting overstimulated, like this is not healthy. What I'm trying to say is this way that our society is being run, this is not healthy. Like, we need community, we need more in person, like get-togethers. But that's just, I hope for a day where stuff drastically can change and for the better. But I'm just reporting on what I'm seeing as a young individual growing up in this capitalistic world. Like, and so back to what I was saying about how I wanted to have like a website or a database where you could like click on the US and like learn about how it's different, all those things I listed, and say like indigenous tribes, which I'm not saying are perfect or better, and well, I'm just saying there's a lot of differences, and like, or even like Germany or Switzerland or Finland, like what makes them happier, what we can do to bring that into our lives here. Like, we really just needed to get out and touch grass as well. Like the fact that these houses, like I'm on a couch, like it's all so static. Like I'm very intuitive, like I sense energy a lot, and like it's just so static to be in like a house. We need something. I would love is to have a tree growing in the middle of a house, growing and like just giving that beautiful energy into the inhabitants. And of course there would have to be ways to keep like buggies off of it and whatever. But really what I'm trying to convey here is that there needs to be more grounding, more Mother Nature. That's why it comes through that, you know, you pick up while just going through life, like go take a retreat, go into nature, and you'll feel a lot better. It's real, it's true. Mother Nature, even though she's not like she used to be before the Industrial Revolution, before like all of these things, like before all of this harming of her came, I mean, I get memories, like it's just amazing what it's like ages ago, thousands of years ago, thousands of years ago. Mother Earth was so much more different, full of trees, full of life. It's so beautiful. And it's just so different now. But I would want to have a database where you can like explore all of that, and this is more esoteric, but past lives, like where you can explore like how all of our lives are connected, and like explore ourselves on a more multidimensional level than just this life. Because there's like past life regressions, like there is many people who are having experiences where they are understanding that this life is not everything. We don't just go back into just turn back into nothingness. Like, we are multidimensional beings having an experience here. And I believe part of the reason I'm here, this awakened at this young of an age, is because this world needs big fucking help. This world needs help. It needs people to point out that these systems are so wrong. Even the way schooling systems, like, don't even get me started. Like, the way we're taught to be quiet, don't speak up, listen to the teacher, listen to one person, listen to one dictator in the classroom, instead of talking to your community, talking to your peers, like having your own creativity projects. It's all like, do this assignment, and if you don't do it how I, the dictator, like it, then it's not gonna work. Like, you have to do it that way, you have to do it this way. That's just so wrong. It should be like, there should be so much more about using your own ideas, innovations, like not just one set way to do everything. There's so many ways that there's just so much, like, there's so many ways that, like, things can be solved, and like ways that we can create stuff. And that's why I like Montessori schools. What I've heard about them, I think it would be amazing if we had more Montessori schools. Maybe also in my website I would have like a page for like ways to like help raise like young people so that they grow to be more like, not robots. And maybe Montessori schools in some, maybe I would help create more Montessori schools in the United States. Like, that'd be amazing, and all over the world. And something else, speaking of education, something else that I wanted to do is, when you read a book and it's like, it really changes your perspective, like The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, or like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Dolores Cannon books, like all of those and more. It's those books that really change our perspective on life. I would want to donate when I have a ton of money. Even now, I have enough money to do this, because it's really about the mindset, less about waiting until the best opportune time. But back to the subject, I want to donate like books to people in need, people who can't buy them for themselves, people in homeless shelters. Like, I want to give books that, instead of just giving money that they could spend on drugs or something, which I know is not the case for all homeless people, but for some, I feel like that is something that they deal with given their circumstances. And something that also, given that I feel like could help, is to just allow more knowledge to be spread. And that, I feel like, would be so beautiful if more people were given the resources to think outside of the box. And so even donating to schools as well, people who are ready to learn. Like, I just feel like there needs to be more knowledge about ways that we can better the world, and not get stuck in this rat race. Personally, I think if more of us, community, but if, like, I want to just go maybe to Bali or something, like, if more of us enjoyed more time together off of our phones, that would be amazing. Like, the way the medical system is set up, there's no talking about holistic ways, like eating healthy foods. That would be amazing. More farmers markets. Like, I feel like the way that medicine, it's expensive. Healthcare, you guys probably understand a lot of this, but healthcare, it's hard to get. Like, it's expensive. In other places around the world, it's not like that. They want you to be healthy, but not here. I'm not just talking specifically about here, but that's what I've noticed in the areas where I live. And I would love to see more, like, holistic, using herbs, and having more, like, use lavender to calm, or using lion's mane or drinking more tea is like really more in eating less unhealthy foods and more transitioning into energies and fuel that will strengthen our body. And something that I would love to see is like, you know how there's fast food restaurants that are like very unhealthy, like McDonald's. I would like, because I think the healthy food, if we're gonna make this communal and like mainstream, we have to do it so that it's not expensive. Because if we want this to be mainstream, we have to be able to give this to everyone. So I would make a fast food, but for healthy food. Of course, it's not gonna be the best, but it's still better than eating French fries or a burger that looks the same 20 years after staying in a closet. McDonald's. Like a fast food where we have these quick, easy to make healthy foods like chia seed pudding, fresh fruit. You could get it imported all the time and create more of that, like green beans, broccoli, all of this stuff, and make it delicious, but also easy to access for people. Now, of course, it isn't going to be as good as like a restaurant, but it's about bringing this high vibe into the mainstream, bringing more nature retreats into the mainstream, like going back into nature, being with Gaia. Something also incorporating not fast food but like fashion is that in clothing, I feel like a lot of us, there's a lot of trends going on. Always follow the trends. That's also literally following and going in the rat race, not thinking for yourself. We need to think for ourselves. And I feel like a part of that, I'm gonna go into like more clothing is like just following brands like Lululemon or Gymshark or all these other like popular brands just because they're cool. But is that really your style? No, they're gonna go out of trend in 5 years, just like Hydro Flasks did, just like all of these other things did. Skinny jeans. I feel like something that I'm looking forward to seeing more of in the future is, as a society, us wearing things that make us really feel like ourselves. Wearing these, for me, it feels like this. This feels like me. And that's why, even though I was nervous to wear them at first, I did. Because this feels like me. This isn't a trend. No one else I know wears nails like this. This ain't no French tips. This is me. This is just, I made these myself. They feel like myself. And that is the most amazing fucking thing we can do. Be ourselves. Be creative. I paint too. More creativity in the world. That'd be amazing. And I think a lot of like fast fashion, Forever 21, Abercrombie and Fitch, all these things, that it's the reason we buy from them is because it's cheap. It's not like Dolce & Gabbana. It's not like super expensive. So what I think we need to do is bring more colorful, bring more whimsical, like all-encompassing styles into the mainstream, using nice fabrics like linen or like bamboo, and trying to make that so that people can afford it. Like, we made it so that clothes, which used to be made handmade at home. You make it yourself back before the Industrial Revolution. I forget the name of what it was called when people would make clothing from their house, and that was like the industry was very unique. And we went from that into factories and getting so many clothes, fast fashion clothes. So we can do the same thing with something that seems hard to do, which is making like a sustainable clothing into more widespread, so that more people can be experiencing this more unfiltered sense of ourselves. And so like having more colorful things, more fanciful clothing, and making that more easy to access for people, because if people have access to it, they're gonna be able to be like, wow, I could do that. Because really, when we think of things, then it's in our field of awareness, and that's powerful. So we we just gotta get like more colors going, more creativity. I don't mean colors literally, I mean more of a spectrum of the way that life can be here on Earth. It's not all black and white. We can be do so many different things. There are so many different ways that the Earth can go. Not just you. We just don't always have to be in a rat race. We can make our own way in life. We can make our dreams come true. So yeah, bringing like colorful hippie clothing like into more like mainstream, easy to buy, easy to purchase shops and such. Same with food. So yeah, I've talked about education, more Montessori schools, the food we have here, all social media, getting more community, more third places, which is like more social places, you know, more like taking from other places that are doing well around the world and not as dropped into this dense system, and really bringing light into the dark places on Earth. That's what I feel like I'm here to do. Bring more light into darker timelines. Another thing I would love to see is more like creativity, like more painting, more places where we can paint, more third places, aka places where we can reconvene outside of work and school and such, and home, and where we can paint or create or write poems, write poetry, learn about the lost arts, learn about all of these things, like just be more creative in life, and like learn about Atlantis and like all of these different, like Earth, what Earth was like before all of this happened, like how we've been on different star systems, Lemuria, Lemuria, Orion, all of these different places. We're not just from here. Some of us came here for a soul mission. You can learn more from Dolores Cannon. Some of us are here with new contracts where we can be lighter. Some of us are here to help the Earth. We've been around for a really long time. We're here on Earth to learn lessons and to come back eventually back into oneness and bring ourselves into wholeness, back with spirit, back with source, back with God, whatever you want to call it. We're here to remember ourselves. Remember yourself. Remember. More learning about light language, which is like stuff like that, like letting your higher self, which is your all-knowing self, who remembers all the experiences you've been through this life and past lives, different soul systems, star system, learning systems, and remembers it all. That's your higher self. When you kind of let that intelligence through, and then you kind of just speak it out through your vocal cords, that light language, or like scribbling and letting out transmissions that way. Like there's just so much that I would want to put on this map of like ways to be more of yourself, ways to be more like tapped in, tuned in, like quantum healing hypnosis technique, like learning about all of this stuff. I hope and I know that this video is going to help people, and it's going to be a wake-up call, and I'm proud of you for sticking with me through this and for trying to understand, and you're amazing. Yeah, I really liked doing this. The reason I was able to do this is because I put my phone down, and I just kind of, it's for like 15 minutes, I was just thinking, and I really felt really amazing to just sit here on my couch and be with myself. No phone, no music, no nothing. No external stimulation, just me, myself, and I. And that's how all of these thoughts kind